Hello students. So in the last lecture we have completed third application of UCM, that is motion of vehicle along banked circular road. And today's lecture we will study the last and fourth application of UCM, which is conical pendulum. So in all there are four applications of UCM. First one, you know that horizontal circular track and vehicle is moving along it. Second application, well of death. Third one, yesterday you completed, that is vehicle is moving along banked circular road. And fourth one we will study in today's lecture. But before that fourth article, we will complete one question from your exercise. That question is regarding bending of cyclist or two-wheeler when it is moving along circular unbanked road. That question in your exercise is like this. While driving along an unbanked circular road, two-wheeler rider has to lean with the vertical. Why is it so? With what angle the rider has to lean? So we want to find out why that rider is leaning with the vertical while driving along unbanked circular road. And if he is leaning with vertical, with what angle that driver is leaning and why it is leaning? We want to find answer of this question. And with that question, one more question is in your exercise. Do you need a banked road for a two-wheeler or cyclist? And if needed, explain. If not needed, explain. So if you answer yes, then explain why. If you answer no, then also you have to explain. So these are the questions from your exercise. We want to explain this question because its answer is not given in your textbook. So first of all, we will try to find, is the banked road is necessary for two-wheeler or cyclist? Of course, the answer is not necessary. Now question arises, why cyclist or motorcyclist does not require banked circular road? The answer, we will try to find the answer of this question. See, no, we do not need banked road for a two-wheeler. We got one answer. Now we will try to find why we do not need banked road for two-wheeler. Because as the rider on two-wheeler provides himself the necessary centripetal force by leaning inwards on a horizontal track while going around a curve. This is experienced by each and every cyclist as well as each and every two-wheeler rider. When that rider is moving along horizontal circular track, that time along that curve, rider is making some angle with vertical. Rider is leaning himself, bending himself inward so that it makes suitable angle with the vertical. And this angle is nothing but banking angle there. And as we know, if banking angle is there, then normal reaction can be resolved into two components, and out of that horizontal component of normal reaction, which is equal to n sine theta, is providing the necessary centripetal force. And due to that, two-wheeler rider or cyclist can safely drive along unbanked road. So the answer is that no, we do not need banked road for two-wheeler rider or cyclist. What is the reason? Because cyclist or two-wheeler rider are making some angle with vertical by leaning himself, and that angle resolves the normal reaction into two components. Out of that, horizontal component is providing the necessary centripetal force for the circular motion. So we will try to explain this concept in detail. While going along a curve, of course it is horizontal circular track, the rider of a two-wheeler leans with the vertical. We have know it. We have experienced it. A rider of cycle or two-wheeler leans with the vertical to one side so as to provide himself the necessary centripetal force. From where that force will provide it? Normal reactions, horizontal component provides the necessary centripetal force. And the angle made by that rider with vertical is nothing but banking angle. Second point, this angle gives the rider maximum speed along an unbanked circular road. Means if the road is unbanked, it is circular, and if the rider has made angle with vertical, then that angle provides the rider maximum speed along that unbanked circular road. The rider has to lean. The condition to move with maximum speed along unbanked circular road, the rider has to lean inwards of circular road at suitable angle theta, and that angle is made with vertical, and this angle is given by this, and you have derived this formula. Now we will turn towards one more question from the exercise. What that question for? This question is asked to find the angle made with vertical by a cycle or two-wheeler rider while turning on an unbanked horizontal road. Means we want to derive the expression for this formula, because this theta is angle made by two-wheeler rider with the vertical. We want to find expression for this angle. So for that purpose, we will consider a bicycle rider taking a turn on an unbanked road whose radius is r and the rider is moving with the speed v. And in that case, in order to provide the necessary centripetal force, the rider has to lean inwards, making angle theta with vertical. And it is shown in this diagram. So this is the case. This is the horizontal circular track which is unbanked. Why it is unbanked? Because both the edges, inner edge of the road and outer edge of the road, both are at same level. So it is unbanked circular road. And on this road, this rider is moving. And while that rider is moving, bicycle rider is there, this rider leans himself inward in this direction, inward, to make a suitable angle with the vertical. So this diagram explains cyclist is moving along unbanked circular road. And in that diagram, we will see the physical quantities which are involved. Mass of the rider is m. Speed of the rider is v. The radius of that circular road is r. Angle made by rider with vertical is theta. And of course, n is the normal reaction. In this case, the normal reaction is along this line, directed along this line, which is making angle with vertical theta. The rider, this rider, cyclist rider, is under action of the following forces. Dear students, if you see this diagram clearly, you can easily find out the forces which are acting on the cyclist. Definitely, first force is the weight of that rider. Second force is the normal reaction. Normal reaction. And as this normal reaction is not exactly vertical but inclined at angle with vertical, you can resolve this normal reaction in two components, as already we have studied before. So the vertical component of normal reaction is n cos theta, and horizontal component of normal reaction is n sin theta. After that, if you try to balance the forces acting on that cyclist, we will see the forces acting on the bicycle first. First force is the weight mg acting vertically downward from the center of gravity of two-wheeler rider. Second force is normal reaction of the ground on rider, and this normal reaction is acting along a line. This is a line which makes angle theta with vertical. And this normal reaction we have resolved into two components. Out of that, vertical component is balancing weight of that cycle, and this horizontal component, where it is directed. Can you think? This n sin theta horizontal component is directed towards the center of the circular path. That's why this horizontal component is providing necessary centripetal force. कारण जो फोर्स सर्कलच्या सेंटरकडे डायरेक्टेड असतो तोच फोर्स सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स असतो. म्हणून इथं n sin theta is providing you necessary centripetal force. And in this diagram, this force is directed away from the center. This is nothing but centrifugal force. So in this motion of that cyclist, centripetal force is balanced by centrifugal force. And due to that, cyclists can be safely take this turn on that unbanked circular road. So we will proceed further. Vertical component balances weight of the rider. So you will get first mathematical equation. Vertical component equal to weight of the rider. Second, horizontal component provides the necessary centripetal force to the rider. That's why you will get the second mathematical expression like this. Horizontal component equal to necessary centripetal force. आणि या सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्सचे अजून दोन फॉर्म्युले आहेत, पण इथं आपण लिनियर स्पीड मधला तो फॉर्म्युला घेतलाय. ना इक्वेशन 2 डिवायडेड बाय 1. जर इक्वेशन 2 ला 1 ने डिवाइड केला तर तुम्हाला या पद्धतीचा फॉर्म्युला मिळेल. n sin theta upon n cos theta equal to mv square upon r upon mg. पण यातील कॉमन क्वांटिटीज कोणत्या आहेत? कॅन्सल करता येईल आपल्याला. n gets cancel. So sin theta upon cos theta is the tan theta here. And m numerator denominator मध्ये m आहे ते देखील कॅन्सल होतं. Remains v square upon rc. आता तुम्हाला आठवतं का? We want to find the angle made by rider with vertical, and that angle here is in this diagram is theta. From this formula you can find theta like this. Rider should bend through an angle theta equal to tan inverse V square upon RG. So this is the answer of question which is set in your exercise. And this answer is not provided in the syllabus. That's why I have discussed this question here. We will shift to our next slide. Okay. Dear students, we will see fourth application now of the circular motion. We have completed first three applications, and before going to the fourth application, we will revise few terms which is required for the fourth application. You know the meaning of the terms. First of all, what is pendulum? Each and every student know the meaning of pendulum. What it consists? It consists a tiny mass assumed to be point object called as bob, and this tiny mass is connected to a string, and that string should be long, flexible, massless, inextensible, and it is suspended to rigid support. Then that arrangement is called as pendulum. Then we will try to find what is simple pendulum. Simple pendulum is a tiny mass, once again, assumed to be point mass, called as bob, connected to the same string, flexible, massless, inextensible string, and that string is suspended to rigid support. But that bob is made to oscillate to a single vertical plane. Bob is made to move to and fro in a single vertical plane, and then it is said to be simple. Then it is said to be a simple pendulum. Means simple pendulum, the bob is oscillating. It is moving to and fro about its mean position along fixed path. But it is in a single vertical plane. It is oscillating. That pendulum is called simple pendulum. And the third term, which is our application, conical pendulum. What is that conical pendulum? What it consists? This conical pendulum you have studied in the 11th standard, and you have derived an expression for conical pendulum. That's why the fourth application will be the revision of 11th standard point, conical pendulum. So first of all, try to find what a conical pendulum consists. This conical pendulum again consists tiny mass, which is point object called as bob, and that mass is connected to a string, flexible, massless, inextensible. String is suspended to rigid support, but difference is here. You can see difference is here. What is that difference? The bob revolves in such way that the string moves along the surface of right circular cone of vertical axis, and the point object performs uniform horizontal circular motion. याचं मीनिंग सोपं सांगतो तुम्हाला. कोनिकल पेंडुलम हा सिंपल पेंडुलम पासूनच तयार होतो. पण फरक एवढाच की सिंपल पेंडुलम टू अँड फ्रो अबाउट इट्स मीन पोझिशन मध्ये मोशन परफॉर्म करत असतो सिंगल व्हर्टिकल प्लेन मध्ये. पण कोनिकल पेंडुलम मध्ये काय केलं जातं, बॉबला हॉरिझॉन्टल सर्कल मध्ये, हॉरिझॉन्टल प्लेन मध्ये सर्क्युलर मोशन, ती पण युसीएम परफॉर्म करायला भाग पडलं जातं. त्यावेळी बॉबला ज्या स्ट्रिंग न अटॅच केलेला आहे, दॅट स्ट्रिंग इज मुव्हिंग अलॉंग कोन, right angle circular cone having vertical axis, then it forms conical pendulum. We will try to find the difference, exact difference between simple pendulum and conical pendulum. Both the pendulum has point mass. Both the pendulum has the string attached to the point mass and suspended to the rigid support. Then what makes the difference between simple pendulum and conical pendulum? We will try to find out the difference. In simple pendulum, motion of bob is to and fro motion about the mean position, and this motion is taking place in vertical plane. And if you want to see actual motion of simple pendulum, you can focus on this animation. Yes, can you see the motion of that bob? Is the bob performing motion, and it is moving to and fro along the fixed part about the mean position. And this is your string, and it is suspended from the rigid support. So this is the motion of simple pendulum which is taking place in single vertical plane. Now we will turn towards conical pendulum. What is it? This conical pendulum, again has the point mass, again has the string, but what is the difference? Motion of bob is along a right circular cone of vertical axis. म्हणजे बॉब इज मुव्हिंग अलॉंग राईट सर्क्युलर कोन, की ज्या सर्क्युलर कोनचा ऍक्सिस व्हर्टिकल असेल. त्याचबरोबर बॉब रिव्हॉल्व्स अराउंड द व्हर्टिकल ऍक्सिस होती बॉब रिव्हॉल्व होत असणार आहे, आणि तो बॉब परफॉर्म्स अ हॉरिझॉन्टल युनिफॉर्म सर्क्युलर मोशन. To clear the concept in detail, you can see this animation. Now, if you focused on this animation, this one is the conical pendulum. What is happening? The bob is revolving in a horizontal circle along a right circular cone having the vertical axis. This one is the vertical axis of that cone. And at each time, it is making this angle 90. So right angle circular cone. And this bob is revolving in horizontal plane and performing uniform circular motion. That time the string is making some angle with the vertical. That angle is called as semi-vertical angle. त्याचं पण आपल्याला एक्सप्रेशन काढायचं आहे. त्यामुळं फोर्थ ऍप्लिकेशन मध्ये तुम्ही कोनिकल पेंडुलम स्टडी करणार आहात, युसीएमचं ऍप्लिकेशन स्टडी करणार आहात, पण त्या ऍप्लिकेशन मध्ये we want to find the period of revolution of conical pendulum. म्हणजे या कोनिकल पेंडुलमला एक रिव्होल्यूशन कंप्लीट होण्यासाठी लागणारा जो टाइम आहे, पिरियड आहे, त्याचं एक्सप्रेशन काढणं हेच आपलं फोर्थ ऍप्लिकेशन आहे. सो आय होप दॅट you can properly distinguish difference between simple pendulum and conical pendulum with the help of these animations. So we will turn towards our last application, which is conical pendulum. And in this application, we want to find the expression for period of conical pendulum. So we will consider a bob of mass m revolving along a horizontal circle whose radius is r and speed is v. And this conical pendulum is initially, we have considered, in inertial frame of reference. आता हा inertial frame of reference आणि नॉन inertial frame of reference हा कन्सेप्ट आपण 11वीतून घेऊन आलोय. What do you mean by inertial frame of reference? A frame of reference or system of coordinate system which is always fixed or moving with constant velocity. That means zero acceleration. Such a system of coordinate axis is called inertial frame of reference. आणि अशा inertial frame of reference मध्ये तुम्ही कोनिकल पेंडुलम सस्पेंड करणार आहात आणि हाच कोनिकल पेंडुलम लास्टला नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स मध्ये सस्पेंड करणार आहात. मग नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स म्हणजे काय? अ फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स which is not fixed, which is moving with variable velocity, means it has acceleration. And in that non-inertial frame of reference, one pseudo force is assumed to be present. That is nothing but centrifugal force. So we will see at the end of this pattern, at the end of this session, conical pendulum in non-inertial frame of reference. But presently, conical pendulum in an inertial frame of reference, you can see this diagram. In this diagram, this one is the rigid support, this is the suspension point, and this is the string, which is long, massless, inextensible, and bob is attached to this end, and this end is suspended to rigid support. And what makes it conical pendulum? This bob is made to move along this horizontal circle like this. That time, this string moves along the surface of this cone. This cone is circular, right angle circular with vertical axis. So string is moving along the surface of cone. That time bob is performing horizontal circular motion, which is used here. So with the help of this diagram, we want to find expression for period of conical pendulum. In this diagram, let us try to find which physical quantities are involved. So first one is the rigid support, yes. T0 is the tension in the string. L, length of the string. V, speed of the bob. H, axial height of the cone. You can see this. This is the vertical axis and its height is h. What is mg here? Weight of the bob. What is theta? This is the semi-vertical angle of the cone. Means angle made by string with vertical axis is the semi-vertical angle. And this, if you take this complete angle, then it is the vertical angle of the cone. What is r here? Can you see in this diagram? Where is r? R is nothing but radius of this horizontal circle, r. Now, we will assume that bob which is performing horizontal UCM is presently at point A. Bob is at this point A. आणि या पॉइंट जवळ असताना त्या बॉबवर ऍक्ट होणारे फोर्सेस आपण फाइंड आउट करूया. पहिला फोर्स ऑफकोर्स कोणता असणार पहा? Weight of that bob, which is equal to mg, and it is acting vertically downward. And second force is nothing but tension in the string, which is acting upward along the string, T0. So these are the two forces acting on the bob when it is at position A. यापैकी तुम्ही या टेन्शनला रिझॉल्व करू शकता, कारण हा जो अँगल आहे सेमी वर्टिकल अँगल, हा ऍक्सिस आणि ही लाईन पॅरलल ही इथं इंटरसेक्ट होते, त्यामुळे हे दोन अँगल्स इक्वल होतात. That's why this tension in the string can be resolved into two components. आणि त्यातील vertical component t cos theta, t0 cos theta आणि horizontal component t0 sin theta. So in this way, tension in the string can be resolved in two components, vertical and horizontal. You can see this. Tension T0 resolved into two components. Vertically upward component आहे T0 cos theta. Horizontal but directed towards center of circle आहे T0 sin theta. आता मात्र तुम्ही इथं डायग्राम मध्ये क्लिअरली बघा. यातील व्हर्टिकल कंपोनेंटनं बॉबच्या वेटला बॅलन्स केलंय. Weight mg is balanced by component T0 cos theta. मग याच्या मदतीनं मॅथमॅटिकल रिलेशन तुम्ही लिहू शकता. T0 cos theta equal to weight mg. आणि दुसरा कंपोनेंट जो आहे टेन्शनचा T0 sin theta. Can you tell me where it is directed? It is horizontally, no problem. But where it is directed? See clearly in the diagram. What is O here? O is nothing but center of this horizontal circle. And this horizontal component is directed towards the center of that circle. मग तुम्हाला सर्वांना माहिती आहे सर्कलच्या सेंटरकडे डायरेक्टेड झालेला फोर्स हा नेहमी सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्सचं काम करत असतो. त्यामुळं बॉबच्या सर्क्युलर मोशनला नेसेसरी असणारा centripetal force is provided by this T0 sin theta. So your next mathematical step, horizontal component T0 sin theta provides the necessary centripetal force. That's why the mathematical relation is like this. Now we have to divide equation 2 by equation 1. मग इक्वेशन 2 ला जर 1 न डिवाइड केलं तर T0 कॅन्सल होईल आणि sin theta upon cos theta tan theta होईल. You can see here. आणि राईट हँड साइडला न्यूमरेटर आणि डिनॉमिनेटर मधून m कॉमन असलेलं कॅन्सल होत आहे. त्यामुळे रिमेन्स ओनली v स्क्वेअर अपॉन rg. आता या इक्वेशन वरून तुम्हाला थीटा जर काढायचा असेल तर tan ला इकडे शिफ्ट करावं लागेल. Therefore the angle made by string with vertical, या अँगलला आपण सेमी वर्टिकल अँगल म्हटलेला आहे कोनचा. That angle is given by theta equal to tan inverse v square upon rg. But we are trying to find expression for period of conical pendulum. And in that conical pendulum, Bob is performing UCM, isn't it? So for UCM, period is given by this formula. Period equal to distance upon speed. Or speed equal to distance upon period. आता या स्पीड ची जी व्हॅल्यू इथं लिहिलाय तुम्ही ती व्हॅल्यू मी इक्वेशन 3 मध्ये इथं सबस्टिट्यूट करतो v स्क्वेअर जवळ. काय बदल होईल पहा. इक्वेशन 3 becomes see tan theta equal to v square upon rg. हे इक्वेशन 3 आहे. But in this equation you are substituting v square. What is the value of v? 2 pi r upon t. Its square 4 pi square r square upon t square rg. आता या न्यूमरेटर मधून डिनॉमिनेटर मधून एक r कॅन्सल होतं. What remains here? 4 pi square r upon t square g. आता हा जो फॉर्म्युला आहे यातील तुम्हाला पिरियड जर फाइंड करायचं असेल तर t square should be shifted towards left and it is replaced by tan theta. So you can write like this. T square equal to 4 pi square r upon tan theta into g. We want the period of conical pendulum. We don't want the square of period. So to find the period, you have to take the square root on both sides. So taking the square root on both sides, we can write the period like this. T equal to 2 pi. which is the root of 4 pi square, root r upon g tan theta. आता हा फॉर्म्युला इथं असा का बदलतोय बघा. तुम्ही r च्या सबस्टिट्यूट केलाय L sin थीटा. कुठून आली व्हॅल्यू? कोनिकल पेंडुलम मध्ये जो राईट अँगल ट्रायंगल तयार झालेला आहे SOA, त्या राईट अँगल ट्रायंगल मध्ये साइन थीटा जर तुम्ही घेतलात तर साइन थीटा म्हणजे अपोजिट साइड रेडियस होते तिथं, अपॉन हायपोटेनियस इज द लेंथ ऑफ स्ट्रिंग, म्हणजे साइन थीटा इक्वल टू r अपॉन L. मग त्यावरून मला r ची व्हॅल्यू काय मिळाली पहा, L sin theta. So just substituted r equal to L sin theta. आता याच फॉर्म्युल्याला अजून आपल्याला बदल करता येईल. Sin theta as it is, tan theta can be written as sin upon cos. Then sin and sin will get cancelled. Cos will remain at this denominator. So the formula will be changed like this. This formula changes. 2 pi as it is under root L cos theta. From where that cos theta? This remaining part of tan theta. Sin get cancelled upon z. And in the next formula, you are written L cos theta instead of H. This H is from this triangle. Once again SOA, H equal to L cos theta. कारण त्याच राईट अँगल ट्रायंगल मध्ये cos theta म्हणजे ऍडजसंट साइड अपॉन हायपोटेनियस. मग ऍडजसंट साइड म्हणजे व्हर्टिकल हाईट होते H, हायपोटेनियस म्हणजे स्ट्रिंग होते, म्हणजे cos theta equal to H upon L, and from that H equal to L cos theta, and you have substituted L cos theta equal to H. So equation 5 is the required expression for period of conical pendulum. आता जर तुम्ही period of conical pendulum फाइंड करू शकला असाल तर यावरून इझिली फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ कोनिकल पेंडुलम काढता येईल आपल्याला. कारण फ्रिक्वेन्सी of UCM is nothing but reciprocal of period. Therefore, frequency of conical pendulum is given by this formula. As you know that frequency is equal to reciprocal of period. Simply you have substituted equation 5 at this place. So 1 upon 2 pi under root g upon L cos theta, which can be written as 1 upon 2 pi under root g upon h. So equation 6 gives you the expression for frequency, and equation 5 gives you the expression for period of conical pendulum. So in this way, we have completed fourth application of UCM, which is conical pendulum. Now, next question in your textbook from the exercise is that this frequency of conical pendulum depends upon which factor? And one more, does it is independent of any one factor? म्हणजे कुणावर डिपेंड आहे हे सांगा आणि कुणावर डिपेंड नाही हे पण सांगा. असा क्वेश्चन तुमच्या एक्सरसाइज मध्ये सेट झालेला आहे. आणि त्याचा आन्सर देण्यासाठी मी तुम्हाला सजेस्ट करेन इक्वेशन 6 चा रेफरन्स घ्या. इक्वेशन 6 मध्ये फ्रिक्वेन्सी आणि हा फॉर्म्युला जरा बघा, यातील 2 पाय कॉन्स्टंट, 1 अपॉन 2 पाय कॉन्स्टंट. मग फ्रिक्वेन्सी पेंडुलमची जी स्ट्रिंग आहे त्या लेंथ वर डिपेंड आहे. फ्रिक्वेन्सी त्या प्लेसच्या ऍक्सलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रॅव्हिटी वर डिपेंड आहे. फ्रिक्वेन्सी सेमी व्हर्टिकल अँगल वर डिपेंड आहे. म्हणजे फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ कोनिकल पेंडुलम डिपेंड्स अपॉन द 3 फॅक्टर्स. मग इंडिपेंडंट कुणावर आहे शोधू शकतो का बघा. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, तुम्ही जो बॉब कन्सिडर केलेला आहे त्याचा मास किती घेतला होता? जे रेशो घेत असताना कॅन्सल झालं पहा इथं. इक्वेशन 3 मध्ये ते मास कॅन्सल झालं रेशो घेतल्यामुळे. तर हे जे बॉबचं मास आहे ते इक्वेशन 6 मध्ये कुठं आलंय का बघा. नो, then you can easily say that frequency of conical pendulum is independent of mass of the bob. So थ्री फॅक्टर्स वर फ्रिक्वेन्सी डिपेंड आहे आणि एका फॅक्टर वर फ्रिक्वेन्सी इंडिपेंडंट आहे. तोच क्वेश्चन तुमच्याकडून कव्हर करून घेतो. कॅन यू रीड दिस क्वेश्चन? ऑन व्हॉट फॅक्टर्स डज द फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ कोनिकल पेंडुलम डिपेंड्स? आपण फाइंड केलेले ते फॅक्टर्स, थ्री फॅक्टर्स आहेत. इज इट independent of some factor? We will try to find the answers. Frequency of conical pendulum depends upon following factor. Of course, first one is the length. आणि लेंथ वर तो कसा डिपेंड आहे पहा, इनव्हर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ लेंथ. दुसरा फॅक्टर कोणता? एक्सलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रॅव्हिटी. आणि त्याच्यावर फ्रिक्वेन्सी कोनिकल पेंडुलमची कशी डिपेंड आहे पहा, डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ एक्सलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रॅव्हिटी. आणि तिसरा फॅक्टर आहे तो अँगल ऑफ इन्क्लिनेशन, सेमी व्हर्टिकल अँगल यू कॅन से. आणि या सेमी व्हर्टिकल अँगल वर फ्रिक्वेन्सी कशी डिपेंड आहे या रिलेशन वरून तुम्हाला कळेल. फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ कोनिकल पेंडुलम is inversely proportional to square root of cos of angle of inclination. So these are the three factors on which frequency of conical pendulum depends.
Yes,
And
sir. So
fourth
from that
one,
we can see that in lithium ion battery,
frequency of
we get
conical
higher
pendulum
energy
is
density as
independent
compared to
of
hyper
mass
capacitor.
of the
In hyper
bulb,
capacitor, we'll get
as mass
large
is
number of current
mass
due
is
to
not
higher
present
power
in the
density.
expression for frequency of period.
Yes.
So this tells you
Yes, sir.
about the factors
Energy density.
on which frequency depends and the factor on which frequency is independent. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the discussion regarding conical pendulum is inertial frame of reference. Okay, dear students, we will see the last part. When conical pendulum is kept in non-inertial frame of reference, then what will be the change? तुम्हाला सर्वांना माहिती आहे, circular motion is accelerated motion. So it is taking place in non-inertial frame of reference. आणि या फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स मध्ये एक सीडो फोर्स, एक नॉन रियल फोर्स पार्टिकल परफॉर्मिंग सर्क्युलर मोशन वर ऍक्ट होत असतो, ज्याला तुम्ही नाव दिलंय सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स. मग हाच कोनिकल पेंडुलम ह्या नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स मध्ये जर तुम्ही ठेवलात तर त्याची डायग्रॅम या पद्धतीने तुम्हाला रेफर करावी लागेल. आणि या डायग्रॅम मध्ये जो बदल आहे तो फक्त इथं झालेला आहे. पण ए पॉइंट जवळ जर तुम्ही बॉब कन्सिडर करत असाल तर ऍक्ट होणारे जे डिफरंट फोर्सेस आहेत, वेट तर होतच, टेन्शन इन द स्ट्रिंग मध्ये तर होतच, टेन्शनचे दोन कंपोनेंट्स तुम्ही रिझॉल्व्ह केले होते. विच वन इज द ऍडिशनल फोर्स हियर इन दिस केस इन नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स? And that additional force is nothing but mr omega square. Instead of that, you can write two more formulas. mv omega you can write, mv square upon r you can write, and this force is directed along radius of circle but away from the center. But जो force along radius away from the center असतो तो फोर्स तुमचा सेंट्रिफ्युगल फोर्स असतो, आणि जो अलॉंग रेडियस टुवर्ड्स द सेंटर असतो तो तुमचा सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स असतो. त्यामुळे नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स या केसमध्ये सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स इज बॅलन्स्ड बाय सेंट्रिफ्युगल फोर्स. दॅट मच ओनली डिफरन्स. सो इन दिस केस centrifugal force balances the centripetal force. Due to that, the mathematical relation will be like this. This is nothing but centripetal force, and this one is nothing but centrifugal force. Both the forces are balanced. So in this way, we have completed the subunit applications of UCM. In all, there are 4 applications. So with this we will stop this lecture. Thank you.